Hey beautiful people, if you want to learn how to make an off-the-shoulder crop top like this, then keep watching this video. To sew this, you need a 1/2 to 1 yard of fabric, matching thread, 1/4 inch elastic, an overlock machine, a sewing machine, a tape measure, fabric scissors, safety pins, a ruler, common pins, an iron, and a pen. If you would like to change the speed of this video to make it faster or slower, follow these instructions, and you can find timestamps in the description box down below just in case you want to skip to a certain part of the video. The first thing I did to cut the pieces for the crop top was to measure from where I want the sleeve to start to where I want it to end, and I also measured around my bicep and divided it by 2. I measured the length on the fabric plus an additional 1 inch for allowance while the fabric is folded like this, and this essentially represents a 1/2 of the bicep. I also measured around the widest part of my bust, and I measured how long I want my crop top to be. I cut the fabric with these measurements, and my fabric is folded so it's currently 1/2 the bust circumference. This is how it should fit around you. You can add an extra 1 inch to 2 inches if you like more coverage. I also cut a long strap that is at least 60 inches long and 2 inches wide. These are all the pieces for the top. In order to sew the body of the crop top, I finished all the raw edges with my serger. If you don't have a serger, you can always fold and stitch each raw edge by 1/4 of an inch. I really love having a serger because it just makes my work look so much neater. The next thing I did was to cut a piece of elastic that was 4 to 6 inches shorter than my above bust circumference, and I pinned both ends of the elastic to the ends of my top. I also did the same thing for the bottom of my top. However, this piece of elastic was 4 to 6 inches shorter than my waist circumference. I stitched the elastic from one end to the next, making sure that I stretched my elastic while I was sewing, and this is going to create a scrunchy effect. You can use 1/2 inch elastic if you like. You can also use 1 inch elastic, but you would just have to make sure that you have enough allowance for that. This is how mine is looking, and I went ahead and did the same thing for the other elastic band. Next, I folded the elastic down like this, and I top stitched along the serged edge. You want to do this for both of your elastic bands, and you're gonna get this cute scrunchy effect which looks super professional. The next thing I did was to measure an inch away from the edge, and I drew a straight line. Then I folded along the straight line and pinned along the edge of the fabric like this. I stitched along where I pinned to create a tunnel for the straps. Your tunnel can be smaller if you'd like, but I just made it this size so that I would have enough space. I folded the fabric in 1/2 and put a pin in the center top, and then I folded each side towards the pin, found the midpoint, and put a pin there as well. This essentially marks where the sleeves will go, and when you're done, you should have 3 pins in your fabric. To sew the sleeves of the crop top, I folded the sleeves right sides together like this, and I stitched along the raw edge. You can use pins for stability, but I am sewing with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I finished the raw edge using my serger, and again, I just love using a serger because it makes things look so much neater and more professional. I then turned the sleeves over like this, and I cut 2 pieces of elastic that were a 1/2 inch bigger than my bicep circumference. I stitched the ends of it together and stitched the elastic to the top of the sleeve like this. I then folded the elastic down and top stitched along the serged ends. If your sleeves are bigger, you will get a scrunchy effect. You also want to cut elastic that is your wrist circumference for the bottom of your sleeves and stitch those in. If you're enjoying this tutorial, click like and share it with a friend who might enjoy it. I took the seam of the sleeves and I put them right sides together with the fabric where the pins were. I then tacked the sleeves to the top with multiple back stitches so that they would be secure. And if this has been helpful for you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for my channel. To sew the strap for the crop top, I folded the strap in half and pressed the fold like this. And then I folded each side towards the center and folded the strap in half again. I stitched down the open end of the strap like this, and then I stitched down the other end of the strap like this. This creates a really neat finish. Isn't that cute? I then put safety pins on the ends of the strap and I fed them through the tunnels. This is why I made my tunnels this big, because I just wanted to have lots of space to pass it through, and I do recommend that you do the same thing. There are multiple ways that you can tie this top, but this is my favorite and I'll definitely be exploring other ways. If you want to see how I do that, then follow my Instagram at Quaint. And if you watched all the way to the end, I want you to comment, "I can't wait to make this crop top," down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.